Los Angeles, California, with Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Hello there, friends! Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who has thrown his pants and underwear into a fire and is currently jacking his boner off with Lil Mama's ass. That's Chef Clark.
What's up?
And beaming to us from the top of the Eiffel Tower, the bearded nose caviar eating Frenchman known as Shuddy Boy.
You. Rap, rap.
Woo! Holy shit, fellers. It seems like the forces of evil are attempting to throttle us in our hiney holes today. But the scientists persevere, and we powered through. Fucking almost near dick-crippling technical maladies before the show today.
Throwing in the towel on the whole episode.
How close was I?
Yeah.
Not close at all. I had faith today. I started working on my inner self, and I was like, normally, I'd be finding something soft to kick as hard as I can right now, and I'd be yelling.
Jeff and I were both saying that you were probably losing your mind and that you were going to come in extremely hot.
Trying to not be that guy.
You are really fucking calm. It's amazing what the life changes you've gone through over the last several months have done for your demeanor.
Remember last time you kicked something soft or tried to and you ended up with gout?
Yeah.
That wasn't the last time. I'm sure he's done that since then.
I have. That was definitely the most notorious
lesson
time.
From gout?
No. But I'm trying. I'm trying to reverse the normal trajectory of life. I feel like a lot of the times the older you get, the crankier you get. And I'm trying to become more and more of a peaceful human the older that I get. So this was a true test of my patience today.
Do you think you're going to lean more towards Eastern philosophies then?
I mean, if
that's
Buddhism,
cut him off all episode and really test his patience. That would be awesome.
I'm just trying not to be a douche.
Do you think you would want to read some Buddhist teachings?
No, I've gone to...
What I mean, would you go to a Buddhist temple?
I've already done that, remember?
I have one right around the corner, actually.
Because I've been reading. And my obsession has just shifted from Masters of the Universe. But I read Rizzo's book, The Wu-Tang Manual, and now I'm reading his second book, The Tao of Wu. And a lot of the stuff that he talks about in there, as far as philosophically, makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, the time that I was going to that
person.
Buddhist meditation temple, I was buying what they were selling, except for when they got into any supernatural shit. I was like, this is sounding too close to real religion. Not into the supernatural stuff, but as far as handling stress and meditating and trying to be a better person, I was like, all right, this stuff is clicking with me. But I got too stressed out trying to find parking near that place, so I stopped going.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. The parking outside the Buddhist temple near my spot is fucking terrible.
Yeah. Come on. Can't Buddha free up some land? Give me a fucking break here.
Or at least, set up a temple near a parking garage.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess something must be going on. I don't know. It's not for once, it's not storming here, but my power went out twice while I was taking a shower, and that threw all of my equipment into disarray, and this laptop is old as fuck, and anytime an MSPH computer shits its pants, which I think has been 2 times in the entire history of MSPH. It has always been a fucking nightmare to recover from. And if that happened today, I might have kicked something.
What about let's just discuss this. What if we
I like how he's all like, "Ah, finally the weather's nice here in California."
Do we have a plan B if that were to happen? Like maybe.
Do you have any generators?
No, I'm talking about the computer dying.
Well, okay, so
because it seems like we're getting close to that happening. Like, so we should have. I think we're at a stage in our lives where we should be planning ahead.
Let me see if I even bought this motherfucker on Amazon, because I was doing that this weekend. I was talking about this in the Easter egg, but a Kraft EMP went off. Let's see what happened. Oh, so I've been selling a lot of my shit on eBay. I'm not destitute yet. Don't worry. I'm just trying to get ahead of the destitution and also free up some of the clutter. So I still have a whole bunch of the shit that was in my storage unit that I got rid of a couple years ago. And
what's your eBay?
Oh, that's handle? Not happening. That is not happening. All the auctions are over anyway. That's why. So like so printers, I don't know if everybody shares my views on this, but it seems like printers are universally the biggest pains in the fucking dick in the world. They're constantly shitting out on you, like, oh, can I print something at your place? Printer's not working. It's being all fucking stupid again. Yeah, so is mine. That's why I need to print at your place. They're just fucking nightmares. So I was trying to print out, some paperwork regarding John Cooper, and all this shit's printing out blank. So I go to Best Buy, I buy new ink cartridges, put those in, and those fucking things aren't cheap. Prints out blank again. So I make a reservation at a printer repair shop. Yelp tells me it's 4 miles away. I get the reservation, the appointment. I put the address into my GPS to go there. 12 miles away, which in Southern California is like a 35, 45-minute drive. I get there, and this guy, I show it to the guy. He takes a look at it. He takes some of his own ink cartridges, puts them in, and it prints out fine. And he was like, where'd you get these cartridges from? Best Buy? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, a lot of times they just leave them out there on the shelves, and they get so old that the ink like fucks up the tiny little holes that it shoots out of. He's like, so go to this place. They sell repurposed ink cartridges, and they're cheaper and way more reliable. And I was like, thank you, kind sir. I drive to this place. I buy another set of ink cartridges. I put them in, and my shit prints out fine. Then I print out another like 10-page document, 3 pages in. It starts spitting out so much ink, it looks like a redacted government document. And then I fucking turned it off. I wiped them off a little bit, and I got them working again, and shit started printing fine. So I didn't think anything of it. I put all these like old GameCube and like Wii games up for sale on eBay, and I timed it so they would all end at the same time, and I'm printing out the packing slips and all that shit, and then I print out 2 things worth, and the fucking thing dies again. So at this point, Carl was like, yeah, you just need a new printer. Your printer's the fucking problem. I've had this printer for like 6 years. I Googled it. Printers last 3 to 5 years. I was like, shit. We go to bed. My TV in my bedroom breaks.
What?
Yeah. Just turn it on.
My solution for the printer thing is, why don't you just do like a binder full of Post-its?
I don't think you can print eBay shipping labels on it.
You just write it down with your hand on Post-its.
I don't think the post office takes Post-it notes as postage.
No, but you could just pay for the. Never mind. We're talking about eBay, so it just automatically will print out a shipping slip for you. Yeah. So
all that shit just died on me in one day. TV, printer, and then so get this shit. I have.
Carl's not set up with this shit yet.
No, she's It doesn't happen to her, so she just laughs at it happening to me.
Everything around you dies, Kevin. That should be a reason for her to leave.
It's only been like a couple humans. Everything else is just...
And a couple of small creatures.
Yeah, but they... One of them died of old age.
And everything electronic that you've ever owned.
Yeah, and your foot that one time because of gout.
But yeah, you know, it's my foot. It's not hers. She's fine.
Sure.
But I my fucking toilet paper holder. The way these fucks installed it, I guess, like before I even moved into this apartment, it's all like wobbly and shit. And I've had to fix it a couple of times, and the goddamn thing fell apart again. So I fixed it. I got all my shit out, and I got it fixed the best I could. And I was taking a piss, and I pissed a little bit on the toilet seat. So I reached over to the toilet paper roll, and I go to get like a couple of squares of TP to wipe the piss off, and it just goes like boing, 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 and this motherfucker hops off the TP holder and swishes right into the pissy toilet. A whole roll of TP and the little rod that holds the TP in. Right into a pissy toilet. And maybe that's why I was so zen when I couldn't get the computer working today before the show. I've just been...
You've dealt with all these calamities?
Yeah.
It's toughing you up, huh?
Deep breaths, man. Deep breaths. And a lot of edibles. But yeah, I just got the notification that the new toilet paper bars, or whatever the fuck those things are called, are waiting for me in the Amazon locker. So I have to, once we finish this show, I have to go repair my toilet paper dispenser. Because I fucking pissed all over the other one. Damn it!
Mutant. What a dumb mutant.
So yeah, that's where things are at with me. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Yeah.
I almost barfed all over.
I got really stressed out. I got really stressed out yesterday trying to figure out our Saturday agenda. So Shuddy, me and my brothers are going up to Staples Center this weekend to watch the Knicks Clippers. And then afterwards, we're going to connect with Carl and Kevin for a little movie and dinner night. And it's such a clusterfuck doing anything in LA. Like, it really is. Like, I just get, like, anxious trying to make plans. So we're trying to figure out which theater to go to, where to eat dinner.
Well, I already got the tickets, so that's handled.
Yeah, that's true. But
what movie are you going to see?
Scream Manhattan. Or wait, Scream 6.
Ghostface Takes Manhattan.
Did you see that to promote the movie, they hired somebody to dress as Ghostface and walk around LA, and people were calling 911?
Wow, people are pussies.
Really? That's probably like one of the normal things you'll see in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you saw Ghostface in Poop Slime Alley, that would not be the scariest thing you saw in Poop Slime Alley.
No. I start worrying when he starts taking a shit. Like seeing somebody in a movie costume is run of the mill. Once they start expelling any sort of human waste, that's when you know, okay, this is not normal.
This guy is dangerous.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Well, I mean, if you guys would like to recalibrate and get synced up, we can do a little bit.
Oh.
I know you like...
Well, what do we need to do to recalibrate? I think we're good to go, right?
No, this is just going to get us all synced up on the same Wi-Fi network. You like this one, Jeff?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for today's random brain question.
So this RBQ is a two-parter. So let's say you found a sexy Aladdin genie lamp and you rubbed it, and a sexy genie comes out and says, okay, you can be in a committed relationship, and in this scenario, we're all single, so don't worry about getting yourself in trouble, Shuddy.
Okay.
But you can pick any celebrity, starlet, whoever, to be in a long-term relationship with. Who would it be? Now, who's your number one crush?
That's a tough one right now. I don't. Do you have
Who's
one,
the
Jeff?
chick from Euphoria with just stick cannons? Was Sydney Sweeney that girl?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'd be down. I'd subscribe to her OnlyFans and I'd tip her generously. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of played out. She's almost like too big of a star, too famous. But I really like Jennifer Lawrence.
See, if I was just thinking about it, my first thought was Margot Robbie.
That's solid. Okay, so let's take Margot Robbie and Sydney Sweeney.
Here comes the poop. Here it comes.
Close. They never are without a pig pen cloud of the most vile, rotten egg farts. Like, they're not just like a speedboat everywhere they go. But if you're within like 6 to 7 feet of them at all times, it is the most putrid fart smell you will ever smell.
Are we the only ones that smell it, or does everybody smell it?
Everybody smells it. Could you tolerate it? You know, like those wretched dog farts that you can taste, and you're just like, oh, God
I understand
damn it.
what you're asking.
Please stop
Probably
describing
not.
farts.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, if she stunk so bad that it just couldn't really, it couldn't
I
like
mean, there
get
were.
around her.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
You wouldn't be like, oh, God damn it, Sydney Sweeney, I'm trying so hard to go nose blind to you.
There has to be like one time where she's not stinky. Like, do we get like she doesn't stink when you have sex, or
No.
she doesn't stink when you go out to dinner? Like, there's got to be a one time, or else I'm just gonna have to pass.
No, it's always farts. A pig pen aura of farts.
See, I wouldn't even be mad about her stinking. I mean, I'm a fat guy, so if she's out with me, I'm getting the blame all the time, and I'm okay with that. But not being able to shut it off, that would bum me out.
Oh,
I
it's
have
me.
a
I'm
picture
farting.
of Sydney Sweeney right here, so I'm looking at her as I say this, and it's like, it's tough. It is. But I don't think I could do it.
Fair enough.
Well, let me Google Sydney Sweeney nude. Let me see if I go there.
There's probably not. That's
Well, I think
highly unlikely.
she gets naked all the time in that TV show.
Oh, that's true. I've never seen Euphoria, so I can't.
I haven't either, but I think
But I've seen her naked, and I guess Euphoria. It's unreal.
Well,
I think her grandmother, of all people, said she's got like the sickest boobs in Hollywood. And when I heard that, I was like, and I hadn't seen him at that time. I was like, all right, I got to see what's going on here. Grandma's giving her props, and I saw him, and it's like,
Granny's got a point.
it's hard to get better. It really is. It's hard. They're that good.
Yeah.
But
well, speaking of TV, have you guys caught any of the revival of Party Down?
No.
no,
We just finished the last season of Eastbound and Down with Ken Marino in it.
Oh, yeah.
And so now we're going to move on to Party Down.
I saw...
Dude,
Raven and I
got to rewatch Kenny Eastbound and Down.
Oh my God, you do, because when he's in Mexico, I texted Kevin about this. He says something that I was just like, oh my God, this is Jeff. Because I don't remember what the context was, but he was like, he was in Mexico visiting Machu Picchu instead of Machu Picchu, which isn't even in Mexico.
Insel Engelfort.
Dude, he fucking Maki Chu. That's the second season, right?
Yeah.
That might be one of the better seasons of television ever. Him in Mexico is amazing.
That show is so fucking good.
When he fucking comes out to the Hulk Hogan theme song or entrance music. Dude.
Yeah, Danny McBride is a national treasure.
Absolutely.
Love that
I haven't
guy.
seen him in a movie in forever. Was he just making money off of Righteous Gemstones, just killing it like that?
Maybe.
They're doing a season 3 of Righteous Gemstones.
Hopefully he's just enjoying being awesome.
He is really one of the great comedic actors of recent memory.
Yeah. But what kicked this conversation off, Party Down. Are you guys Party Down fans?
Yeah, I saw it years ago. I haven't watched it recently, but yeah, it was good.
That was one of those things where I was heartbroken when they canceled it. And I know it started at a time when all these people weren't all that big, and then everybody just fucking blew up, and one by one were getting plucked out for other TV shows. So they were just like, fuck, just cancel this fucking thing. But it is one of the strongest comedy series I think that's ever existed. Like, pound for pound, it's so fucking good.
Do they bring back the whole cast? Is it
everybody but Lizzie Kaplan?
Why? What's she doing that she was too busy to?
I don't know, but I think it's something. Like, she had some like prior TV show or movie she was doing and couldn't do it. But everybody else is back. And it's
did they pick up where they left off, or
no? It takes it's like 12 years or 10 years later or whatever it is. But
shit was scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, but like I mean, if you've never seen Party Down, it's basically a show where it's a catering company, and every episode is them catering a different event, and they're all kind of morons for the most part and aspiring Hollywood types. Like, it's in LA. So they all either want to be writers or actors or directors or something like that. And every episode is something else. Like, they do the Sweet 16 party, and the dad is a Hollywood like power hitter played by J.K. Simmons. And then they'll do an episode where they're catering the porn awards. It's really, really fucking good. And it was one of those things where, like, when they canceled, it was just like, well, that is an error humanity will never be able to correct. And then they're doing a new season. It's the fucking greatest thing in the world. Like, I am so fucking pumped that show's back. The biggest kick in the dick is it's only a 6-episode season, but the first 2 episodes are out. They're doing week to week, and it's fucking great. It's so fucking good. It's like they didn't even skip a beat.
Though, right?
It is, but I think they knew that they were making like a big swinging dick power move. So I saw all these advertisements, like these targeted ads on Instagram, like, hey, Party Down's coming back. You want stars for 6 months? $20. And I was like, oh, $20 you say? Doink. And immediately subscribed.
Yeah, they just assume you're never going to unsubscribe. Pretty much how I am with Paramount Plus. I don't even remember why I bought Paramount Plus. And they just take $5 from my account every month. I don't know.
They did come out the gate firing with like Beavis and Butthead, Halo, the South Park specials.
I really enjoy the Sylvester Stallone show.
Oh yeah, I heard that's awesome.
The King of Tulsa with Martin Starr, who owns a weed dispensary.
Is it legit good?
I enjoy the hell out of it. Like, I don't think it's one of those so bad it's good type shows. I think it's very enjoyable.
I've heard from multiple people that show is sick.
Crazy Sylvester Stallone in a TV show, a streaming show.
Produced by MTV.
No shit.
Stars?
I think
that's weird.
Well, I mean, Paramount owns MTV, so I think that's just what's doing all their direct-to-streaming content. Because I think even the Yellowstone spinoffs have the MTV Productions thing at the beginning. like when the streaming starts.
Well, I will tell you this: if that fucking $20 for 6 months of Stars is still active, I can
What else is
put
on
the Kevin
Stars?
stamp of approval on it.
Dude, when I was growing up, I feel like the cable packages that were either available or my parents subscribed to, you could either get Cinemax and HBO, or you can get Showtime and maybe Encore. And then there was Stars that was like on an island. And I always used to see on the guide, like the TV guide, Stars movies were actually fucking sick. Like they actually always had good movies. HBO was always the best.
Yeah.
Cinemax was second. I thought Stars was a close third. And I always thought Showtime kind of sucked. That's why, like, I just have never been into Showtime.
Showtime had some good series.
Yeah, everyone. I mean, I know Shuddy likes Billions a lot. A lot of people whose opinions I respect like Billions, and then Dexter had a pretty sick run for a while there.
Yeah, back in the
But what
day,
else do they have?
Dexter and Weeds had a pretty strong start. I kind of fell off on Weeds towards the end.
Yellow Jackets is on Showtime, and that's
well,
really
yeah,
good.
I've heard that's awesome.
Billions is very good. Black Monday was very good with Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, Paul Scheer.
About the stock market crash in the 80s.
It does sound interesting.
But yeah, Party Down. 2 thumbs up.
Method Man
Fucking
is
awesome.
in a show on is in Power on Stars.
Do you watch Power? Isn't it any good?
I did it. I don't. I just found out that he was in this show on Stars, so I'll probably
Is that
check it
50
out.
show?
Yeah, it's Power Book 2 Ghost.
Nice.
I don't think he's in the first. Nope, just Book 2 Ghost. He's a series regular, so.
You guys know I'm a big 50 Cent fan. Disappointed I haven't seen Power. I'm disappointed in myself.
Oh, get Stars for $20.
I mean,
And Kevin, to answer your text message, yes, he did send it to me. No, I haven't looked at it yet.
No. Well, thanks for keeping that under the radar and just texting back to me. Well, Jeff, I know you didn't go see anything this weekend, but did you, Shuddy?
Didn't go see anything this weekend, but I did see a bunch this weekend. Draven and I watched Shaolin and Wu-Tang on Friday night. We did a Kung Fu Friday, which was a lot of Friday night Kung Fu. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Very fun movie. Really good. The fight scenes were fucking rad. However, the video quality that I had to be subjected to was quite awful.
Mm.
Because
Just a shitty DVD or piracy?
No, the digitally remastered copy that I have looks like it was ripped from a VHS. So the aspect, it was cut off, trimmed on the sides, and then there was like, you know how in the old days with VHS, if the tracking was off, the bottom of the screen had like that.
Oh yeah, that little like ribbon thing.
Yeah, that was throughout the entirety of the movie, and even though the movie was dubbed in English, there were English subtitles on the bottom of the screen, and when they were long, the front and backwards were all chopped off.
Well, you know, I fucking love Kung Fu movies, and I heard about this one that had some real crazy shit in it called, like, Master of the Flying Guillotine, and I found there was only, like, one way to watch it, and so I got a free trial of some really, really rinky-dink, obscure streaming service, and their streaming copy must have just been ripped off of a DVD that was scratched to shit. because towards the end it just kept like sputtering and stopping and skipping ahead, and I was like, is this my fucking internet or is this the actual? So I rewound it a couple of times, and all the skips and pauses were at the exact same place, and it's like, wow, these guys were like, hey, we got this movie. Don't tell anybody we ripped it off of a scratch DVD. So, I mean, I powered through it, but that was a huge fucking bummer, especially because it was in a fight scene, like a big epic fight scene at the end, like skipping and freezing. This is some bullshit.
Well, luckily, there were no issues like that. It was just mildly annoying. But the fight sequences in it were fucking sick. I definitely recommend watching it. It was fucking rad. And I can see why it influenced what it influenced.
I watched a martial arts movie this morning.
Oh, what did you watch?
Eating and getting ready. I wasn't planning on reviewing this, but I watched a Michelle Yeoh movie from 1985 called Yes, Madam that has one of the sickest fight scenes at the end where she is just annihilating motherfuckers.
Is she in Everything All at Once or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I say that right? What is it?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, she's been around since 85?
Yeah. Like, I think she got her start because a lot of people didn't want to put like women as leads in martial arts movies. And I hope I'm not pulling this out of my ass, but I think Jackie Chan stepped up and was like, no, she's fucking fantastic. You have to put her in the lead of things. So she's got like a whole series of 80s movies where she's just lighting people up. And she's pretty much just as fast as Jackie Chan. Like, her shit is so impressive. So if you can find a way to watch Yes, Madam, and if you want to see a young Michelle Yeoh rocking one of the sickest mullets I've ever seen, Criterion Channel. It's fucking awesome.
And then we also watched Menace to Society.
Ooh. Oh.
Jeff likes that.
That's a fun ticker.
Because it's on HBO Max.
No shit.
Yeah, we were trying to watch Juice, which is available on
Can I
Cinemax,
taste your juice?
but it wasn't on HBO Max. So when we searched Juice, Menace to Society came up. So that was our alternate until we...
I've actually never seen Juice.
I've never seen either of them. This was the first time I saw Menace to Society.
You think Menace to Society is a five-dicker, Jeff?
Yeah. You guys are inspiring me to do a triple header. I'm a 90s triple header.
Boys in the
Menace
Hood?
Society, Juice, Judgment Night.
Oh.
Bing, bang, boom, boom. Just fucking python after python after python. Just five dickers.
I enjoyed Menace to Society. Lorenz Tate's character was a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Well, John Morant.
Just fucking the way he just was shooting everybody up with like no remorse either. Like that scene with the crackhead who's trying to trade him cheeseburgers for crack, and he's just like, you know what, and just shoots him in the belly and walks away. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Lorenz Tate was not a good human.
I wouldn't give it 5 dicks. I'd put it at a solid 4 dicks because there are some parts where, especially when it's just really the kids hanging out, the acting is a little wonky. But it's a good fucking movie. It's heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, basically what I said in my Letterboxd D review, but the end credits roll and you don't have like any kind of warm fuzzies. But I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith is absolutely incredibly cute in this movie.
Yeah, before she got alopecia.
Speaking of, did you guys watch the new Chris Rock special?
No.
fucking didn't. I need to. I was too into sports this weekend, too into golf. I'm gonna watch it this week. Was it good? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
I feel like Chris Rock at this point is an underrated stand-up comedian. I've never taken him off my Mount Rushmore. Still think he might be the GOAT.
Better than Chappelle?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard too many stories about people going to see Chappelle and Chappelle just fucking mailing it in. Like my parents saw him in the early 2000s and early 90s. It's like he was kind of just too high. Didn't really.
That's what
wasn't really that good.
Carl went and saw him once, and she said he was like wasted, like drunk and high, and could like barely perform.
Yeah, I've heard that from a bunch of people at this point. And to me, that has to stain your legacy a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even if he's bounced back from it and isn't doing that anymore?
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Like I guess you can give him the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes he's trying out new shit and doing that, whatnot. But I've heard of recent instances where he's kind of flopped. And I mean, every stand-up comedian has, but like I've heard it from different people, different parts of the country. You know what I mean? Like,
oh wow,
he's talked about it on his own set, right? And it's like, all right, you flopped in upstate New York, California, Michigan, like pretty much everywhere in the country. And I don't know, like
I still have yet to see him live. I missed him by like one night doing a set at the Comedy Store until 6 a.m. Like the staff packed up and went home, and they're like, just lock the door when you're done. And he went for like all night.
Do you think he's the GOAT? It feels like that's the right answer. Like that's the answer everyone expects to hear. And I just like, that's not really how comedy works. Awesome.
I think I feel I'm due for a reevaluation. I do think Tom Segura is rapidly shooting up my list. He's a fucking
Is that Carl thing? Doesn't
murderer.
Carl like him?
Yeah, she does. I mean, I've always liked him too, but like his specials are really fucking sharp. But the new Chris Rock one's really good. I didn't catch it live because it was like the first Netflix special to air live. But he saves all the Will Smith stuff for the end, and he completely fucked up a joke. And he got really deep into it and realized it, and he was like, "Oh, I completely fucked this up." And he just starts over and does it, and it was still hysterical. I was like, "Wow, good for him."
That's a tough one because it's like usually they're touring that shit, and they probably take the best version, right?
I feel like depending on your level, I think if you're a really big name, you're doing 2 or 3 nights filming both of them, and then they just use the best take of every joke. I feel like a lot of the lower tier people don't have that luxury, so they just have to kind of nail it in one go. But yeah, that's
doesn't have that luxury if they're doing it live, right?
Exactly. So I give them props for doing it live, and I can only imagine because I beat myself up when I fuck things up, and to be doing like the first ever Netflix special and then just like telling like he got the punchlines reversed, and I could only imagine how pissed he is at himself. But he stuck the fucking landing, I'll tell you that. Like even just starting it over, he nailed it.
You fired a fucking shoe at a comedy goer.
Dude, I can't.
That needs to be a part of that joke every time.
Dude,
That's honestly like the most Kevin Kraft thing ever. Like,
and you know what's fucking heartbreaking? Like that whole thing was being filmed, and I was just so like when it happened, a million things like time slowed down, everything froze. I processed like it was like Doctor Strange in fucking Infinity War. Like I just started meditating and processed 14 billion different outcomes in a split second. And I was just like, at the end of it, I was like, you know what? This whole thing is being filmed. Like, there are multiple camera angles on this. I was just like, this is going to be such a good clip to have in my arsenal. And I asked Ellis like so many times afterwards. I'm like, hey, are they almost done with that video? Are they almost done with it? He's like, yeah. They're almost done. I think they're almost done. And then I see him posting stuff from his set. And I'm like, oh, they got the stuff done. When do we get ours? He's like, I don't know. You deal with it. So then I'm like reaching out to the guy, and he kept freezing me out. So I kept hounding him. He's like, yeah, I'll get it for you. Do you want your whole set or just that clip? I'm like, well, if it's on the table, I'll take the whole set. I mean, I only did like 10 minutes, but I crushed it. That was the best I've ever done in my life. I'd love to have that clip. And then especially my shoe flying off and hitting a fucking guy in the head in the first row. Yeah, please. And he's like, all right.
Do WeTransfer or Dropbox, or how does it work?
Well, he was like, all right, just give us a week to, get it all chopped up and I'll get it to you. So I waited a week. I hit him up. Silence. Hit him up again. Oh, sorry, I was out of town, but I'll get it to you. I hit him up like 3 more times past then. Radio silence. Fucking guy won't give me it. I don't know if he got told to not give me the clips. I don't know if so much time had passed, because I thought we all did stand up that night. It all got filmed. I thought we were all going to get our shit. And then, months later, once it finally got to Ellis, and then I'm like, hey, what about ours? And it's like, well, good luck. I wonder if at that point all of our shit just got erased off those cards.
Let's say Jason Ellis told the videographer to erase everything. Let's just blame him like he blamed you for things. We'll just say that he did that, and that'll be the fact. We'll just move forward with that.
I'm not gonna lie. I think about it at least 5 times a day, and it drives me nuts. Like,
Having that
stuff like that happens to people, and it's like, fuck, if only that was filmed. It was fucking professionally filmed. And I even like put out a post the next day, like, man, I can't wait for you guys to see the video of it. This is fucking crazy. And we'll never see it. That's one of the biggest things that like I'm like obsessed with it. I'm so fucking upset.
Yeah, that is pretty whack, dude.
That got filmed, and the guy just won't talk to me, won't answer any of my emails, any of my texts.
Counter argument, though, it could be good that that's not around anymore. I mean, it was funny, but it also was like the most Kevin Kraft shit I've ever seen.
Exactly. Like, and it got documented, and it probably was in like multiple angles and filmed really well. And now I'm just stuck holding my limp dick. But whatever. That's what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to fucking take the L's right across the face. But boy, this one really fucking gets under my skin. I'm not going to lie. God,
that was a hell of a moment. That was videotaped. How did we get there? How did we get here? Oh, Chris Rock, his stand-up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thumbs up. Worth a watch. I saw the only people I've seen criticizing it were people bitching about, like, I don't know, wasn't PC enough or some shit.
That's perfect.
Exactly.
That gets me more excited.
It was really good.
I think Jeff just got hard when he heard that.
You know how I hate the wokes. It's an Outkick message there. We hate the wokes. I think Chappelle's Killing Him Softly is probably the best stand-up, but Bigger and Blacker is in the conversation. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's on HBO. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that after the Netflix doc or the Netflix special.
I did go to the theater. I made a solo mission and saw Creed 3.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Have both of you guys seen the previous 2 Creed movies?
Yes.
I did. I didn't like the second one very much, and I think that's a pretty common viewpoint.
It's got I really like 2.
I thought they both ruled.
2 has a really good score on the old Letterboxd D.
My
D
understanding
stands for dicks, guys.
It does.
my understanding is that everyone liked Creed 1 and Creed 2 kind of got some mixed results. That was my understanding. I could be wrong though, I guess.
I really liked it. I mean, clearly I don't know shit about boxing, and when you put fucking Michael B. Jordan up against Drago's son, who looked like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, it was just like, Jesus Christ, how is this not going to end with just Michael B. Jordan planted into the fucking ring like a spike? But
yeah, he was giving up a lot of weight in that fight.
Yeah. But I thought it kicked ass, and I thought the first one kicked ass, and the third one kicked ass. These movies are fucking awesome.
This one was directed by Michael B. Jordan himself, right? And Sylvester Stallone is butthurt about the whole thing.
No,
yeah,
Sylvester Stallone is not angry about Michael B. Jordan directing.
No, he's not angry about that. But I did do a little bit of research, and I guess the thing Stallone took issue with is he never wanted Adonis Creed to go to a dark place, and they gave his character like a darker backstory, origin story. And I guess he was just like drawing a line in the sand, like, no, this is somewhere I do not want this character to go. So he's still listed as a producer, but I don't think he really had anything to do with the movie. He's not in it. But it was still fucking
his beef
awesome.
with it is why he wasn't in it.
Oh, did they explain? Because they didn't really address it in the movie.
No, just because of his attitude towards this movie, he wasn't in it. Michael B. Jordan wanted him to cameo, and he wouldn't, from what I understand.
Yeah.
That's what I gather too.
But I'll tell you what, Michael B. Jordan did a hell of a fucking job directing it. It looked great. He's a powerhouse of an actor too. Holy shit.
See, I have friends who criticize him and think that he sucks at acting. But then my brother, who's like movie opinions, I respect. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but I guess I definitely listen to his movie opinions the most. He really likes Michael B. Jordan, so he's a good actor.
Yeah. And imagine, like, it's got to be weird going through life being named Michael Jordan, too. Help.
Yeah. Did you see that interview, that quick interview that he did on the Creed 3 red carpet, where he was being interviewed by a girl who I think went to school with him and called him a cornball in like the school newspaper.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
She was like interviewing.
Did she bring it up, or he called her out?
He called her out. He's like, "No, you used to think I was corny, right? In high school."
She brought it up. She was like, "Hey, we know each other. We go back. You and I go way back." And he's yeah, I recognize you. You bullied me. You used to talk shit about me.
Yeah, you used to call me corny, right? That's what you said. She's like, well, and she like tried to wiggle out of it, and he like took her to task or called her out, but then like immediately went into professional mode and like did the rest of the interview, like for the most part chill. But it was like a cool little back and forth. Like that's a sick moment. That is a sick moment.
It was. I also saw some stuff because I guess Michael B. Jordan is a big weeb. He's a
anime
huge
guy.
Yeah, he's a huge anime guy. And
I get him a Dragon Ball Queef.
Yeah, we got to make some Dragon Ball Queef merch and send him some shirts. But he was saying, I guess, in interviews that he borrowed from anime for some of when he was choreographing or designing some of the fight scenes, which I thought was kind of cool. Being a fellow weeb.
Well, are they going to do like mid-round monologues where he's not throwing a punch, but he's sitting there talking to himself, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's like
you got streams of fucking colors going by him.
Yeah, like everybody's just standing there, not talking, but just has an intense face, and then just like 3 minutes of internal dialogue. I can't believe it's finally come to this. I will try my best to punch him in the face, but if he throws punches, I shall have to duck them. I
cannot lose this championship belt.
I guess the big thing they were referencing, there's a part I don't think this really counts as a spoiler, where Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors' characters both land punches at the same exact time. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got that from Naruto." Because I think somebody tried to credit it with like, "Oh yeah, you got that from Dragon Ball Z, right?" And he's like, "Actually no, that was Naruto and Sasuke in one of their big battles." And the guy was like, "Oh, okay."
I figured he'd say no. It was actually in Rocky 1. I don't know if you're familiar. Rocky 1, though. That's where I got that from.
They do a thing where, you know how like in the Rocky fights, they always go the distance, and
Absolutely.
they're not going to show, 12 full rounds in the movie. So they'll have like the first couple rounds, then they'll do a montage, and then they're in the final round.
Of course.
The one they did in Creed 3, they did a really, really fucking cool creative move to sort of pass the middle rounds and get it to the 12th. That I thought was really effective. I think it was a really cool creative choice.
I'll tell you what. The thing that I got most excited about when I was looking this up, or not most excited about, but I appreciate about Michael B. Jordan's directing style. I think the official cut was 1 hour and 57 minutes. It's like, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Under 2 hours. Well fucking done. Thank
Dude,
you.
The
Thank you,
script,
sir.
the script was really fucking good too. Like, I don't know, Jonathan Majors is just kicking all sorts of ass career-wise right now. So I'm stoked to see him in anything he does. And I knew he was the
Is that
bad guy.
Wasp?
Huh?
Is he the guy? Is he the Wasp guy? The Wasp man or whatever?
The bad guy in Ant-Man and Wasp, yes.
Yeah, Wasp Man.
Oh, I thought he was the Wasp.
No, that's Evangeline Lilly. He plays Kang
Oh.
the Conqueror. But like, I knew he was the bad guy in this, and the movie starts, and they're homies. And it was like, it was one of those things where you're like, all right, I know he's the bad guy, but he seems so likable. How are they gonna connect these dots here?
It's like Tommy the Machine Gun in Rocky 5.
A little bit.
Starts off amicably and then
Yeah.
turns. And then they become rivals.
Now the business changes people.
And they do, like, they get there, and it's done really well. And you're like, because in the beginning you're like, oh wow, he seems like such a good guy. I'm really rooting for this guy. And then the turn happens, and they're enemies, and they make him a really good bad guy. And you're like, wow, how'd this guy turn into such a fucking jerk off?
Then he goes all Clubber Lang.
It kicked ass, man. I'm all in on the Creed series, and I would also just like to take this moment to tap dance in the sun that I have seen more of the Rocky franchise than you two jabronis.
That's
Is
fair.
that true?
I've seen all 9 of them, and you guys are only at 8. Pfft. Pussies.
No shit. Yeah. No, you got me. I'll see Creed 3, though. I'm probably going to go. I might go tomorrow, actually. Discount movie day.
Yeah, why not? I think it was like 4.25 dicks. I fucking loved it.
Solid score. Bill has like no interest in seeing it, which is weird. Like, I didn't think Creed 2 was very good, but it's not enough for me not to go see Creed 3.
For me, the bar, like the lowest, I guess, I think Creed 2 probably is the worst, but it's still a 4-dicker.
I don't even remember what I scored at. I just remember coming away from it being like, it wasn't that good. But I love Rocky. Like, I think I'll defend Rocky 5, and almost no one does that.
Let me see what I gave Rocky 5, because I watched the Rocky movies.
I take no umbrage with Rocky 5.
It's fine. I actually
Even
think it's fucking awesome.
Even Rocky Balboa.
Because they don't have the it's pretty good. That guy, what's his face? Milo Fertiglia or whatever. That guy is gonna make $1.5 billion in fucking TV. Like, he
because
was
of that.
from This Is Us, and then I just saw him.
He was also in Heroes when
Yeah,
that was big.
And he's in a new show that's gonna be on either, I don't know, ABC, Fox, or NBC, and it's it looks like a tearjerker. And it's like, dude, this guy's going to clean up. He's going to make another fucking grip of millions.
Take another shot at his name.
Milo Formitiglia.
Insel Engelfort.
I wish you went with Milo again.
Milo?
It is Milo.
Yiannopoulos. I kind of like This Is Us. I was into that when I was with my ex. She was into it, and I'd make it work on the Tuesdays.
Yeah, I never watched an episode of that. But I'm looking at Rocky 5, and its average score on Letterboxd is a 2.4. So I guess I was generous with my 3 dicks.
That's terrible, man. But whatever. I know everyone. It's like become, I don't know, like cliche or like, I don't know if the right way to put it is, but everyone feels like they should shit on Rocky 5. I think it's good. It's the only one of the Rockies that has the Don King character, right?
Yes.
And
Clubber Lang doesn't have one.
No. And
Rocky
Creed 4, yeah.
And Apollo didn't have one. The closest would be Brigitte Nielsen in Rocky 4, I think.
That doesn't count, though.
But that doesn't.
A specific Don King
Yeah,
character.
this guy is like Don King to the nth degree.
Yeah, and like Don King is like he's by far the biggest non-boxer in boxing history, right? Like he's so important to boxing history, and the fact that he's only in one of the Rocky movies is a little surprising, and I thought they did the fucking character well.
They even referenced Don King in Creed 3.
Yeah.
Because Adonis is like retired from boxing, and he's more of a promoter or trainer type. And someone sees him off, chopping it up with people. Like, oh, look at Don King over there.
Don King's Wikipedia page is fucking nuts.
He's a scumbag, isn't he?
He murdered someone
Absolutely.
in Cleveland, like in broad daylight. He just beat some dude to death.
Yeah.
Like before his fight promoting career. Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like they got to come up with a documentary for him. Don King. He's got to be dead, right?
Yeah, I'm almost positive Don King is dead.
He's 93. He's still alive.
Are you
He's
fucking
not
kidding
dead.
me?
Oh, fuck.
He's also only 91.
What did I say? Yeah,
93.
Yeah, 91. Sorry.
Holy shit. Wow, I could have sworn I heard a news story about him dying.
Damn, dude. He was convicted of second-degree murder for the second killing after he was found guilty of stomping to death an employee who owed him $600.
Oh my
Fuck.
God.
Fuck.
He's 1 kill away from being a serial killer, I think, technically.
Yeah, dude.
During a 1992 Senate investigation, King invoked the Fifth Amendment when questioned about his connection to John Gotti.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like this dude's his biopic is going to be fucking nuts. Like Don King's life is one of the more like legendary and controversial ever.
So, he's been sued by Muhammad Ali for underpaying him by $1.1 million.
This dude stiffed the greatest.
Yeah,
He's
a guy who murdered somebody over $600 stiffed the greatest for over $1 million.
Just wait. Easton, Pennsylvania local Larry Holmes sued King for allegedly cheating him out of $10 million in fight purses.
Jesus. Is Don King at least broke right now? Is there any sort of retribution?
No, I doubt it.
Mike Tyson sued him for $100 million, alleging that the boxing promoter had cheating him out of millions for over a decade. And it settled out of court with Iron Mike receiving 14 mil.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was quoted in saying he did more bad to black fighters than any white promoter ever in the history of boxing. He
And
got-
then in 2005, on the other end of things, Don King launched a $2.5 billion lawsuit against ESPN.
How do you do on
After
that
a
one?
documentary alleged that King had killed not once but twice.
he shot a man in the back in 54 after spotting him trying to rob one of his gambling houses. I didn't even know it was a thing. The incident was ruled a justifiable homicide. Like I heard, obviously everyone knows self-defense, but justifiable homicide, I didn't know that was.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
like
know that was in law.
that's like the justice system just being like, yeah, we sign off on that murder.
Wait, you're a black guy. You murdered a black guy. We're good here. We're not even going to, whatever. You guys handle that. Fuck.
Man, that's pretty rugged.
Yeah. Served 3 years and 11 months in prison for one of the two murders.
How did he do
Fuck.
against his $1 billion lawsuit?
ESPN settled for $50.
The case was dismissed on summary judgment with a finding that King could not show actual malice from ESPN, and that
All right,
King
good.
had failed to prove that any of the challenged statements were false.
Wow,
There's some photo.
That's
in
a
the
big
week-
part of it right there. That's
Yeah.
like,
they're pretty much like, well, yeah, no, they didn't malign you
know,
because you are a murderer.
like maybe something that's happened relatively in the recent past that people are still hanging on to.
Dude,
That there's been no evidence presented by anyone that an actual wrongdoing had occurred.
there's a fucking photo in his Wikipedia page of him smiling with an AT-4 rocket launcher. He's just holding a rocket launcher.
Oh my
It
God.
looks like it's like at a press conference. He's like, dude, you brought a rocket launcher to a presser? The fuck? This guy's a maniac.
Yeah,
Talking about America's the greatest country in the world. Oh, hey, yeah, I guess, yeah. You fucking got away 2 murders. You should feel that way.
So he supported GW. Then he supported Obama. And then he switched over to Trump.
yeah, he needs those tax cuts.
So he is allegiant to no man.
Yeah,
And just goes whoever's going to pay the most.
I mean, he's fucking proof that there's probably not a God. Like how this guy's made it to 91. Dude,
yeah, murdering people since the
guys-
50s.
he's been a fat black guy for fucking like 60 years, and he's 90. Good, got it.
What do you think his net worth is still?
Oh God, this is gonna bum me out.
I'm
100
gonna go on
million.
the low end. What would you say?
100 million.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Actually, 100 million. I'll just go with that one. That was in my head.
150 million.
Wow, crime pays.
Like he's got so much more money probably than Mike Tyson. He made so
Listen,
much more money off of
listen.
Mike Tyson than Mike Tyson.
This is just the money that is reported to the United States government.
He's got one of those fucking Walt White storage sheds.
Oh yeah,
Or he's got an account in the Caymans or an account in a Swiss bank, because that was more the thing in the 80s was the Swiss banks. So
yeah.
this
Who
is
is
just what the government knows about.
in Breaking Bad? Who is lying on that like enormous mattress of money? It was like Huel and was it Bill Burr?
Yeah, I think it was Huel and Bill Burr.
He's probably got a couple of those money mountains, like in The Dark Knight when Joker has that mountain of money that he slides down and starts throwing snowballs of money at people's faces and then fucking burns it all.
Yes.
He's got one of those.
Yeah, he's got
sure.
like a Scrooge McDuck room.
I went on another little adventure this week. It's been a busy week. I went to Super Nintendo World at Universal.
Dude, side note, I've never seen someone take more of an advantage of unemployment than you, of fun employment than you.
Crushing it, right?
I don't understand how your life works. It's mind blowing to me. Well, how was Nintendo Land or Nintendo World?
Well, I'm not unemployed. I have a part-time job.
It's true. Telling fart and dick jokes.
Yeah. And my last paycheck was a month ago, so I've technically only been unemployed for a month. But
Fair enough.
anyway, yeah, I mean, Nintendo World, ever since it got announced, and then I instantly saw that it was Japan, and then I saw after that it's coming to Hollywood. Real roller coaster for my emotions as a lifelong Nintendo fanboy. And you know, I have and can walk to Universal Studios from where I live. So just the fact that they're putting it there, it's been just a scratch in the back of my head for years. And I finally went, and it was fucking amazing, Jesus Christ. I can't believe how well they fucking nailed it. It really looks like you're in a goddamn video game. They pretty much just modeled it after Super Mario World, the Mario game that came out on Super Nintendo. And like it's just you're almost like in a built-in valley. Like when you look up, there's just, you know, like 40, 50 feet of just Mario terrain built in with motorized coins spinning and warp pipes with piranha plants coming out of them and biting, and it was like overwhelming. When I walked in, like my jaw hit the floor and everybody was laughing at me.
Started crying. Who'd you go with?
I went with Carl and Bonnie and her boyfriend.
Nice.
And it like we got there. So we got there at like 7:15. Park doesn't open until 8, and immediately went there. And like this is the biggest bummer, and I'll get that out of the way now. They don't have the real estate. It's so tiny. Like in Hollywood, there's no open land anywhere. So they didn't have the room to really make a huge area. But if they made an entire park like that, like a Nintendo Land, so this is the Mario section, and then you can go over here, and there's the Zelda section, and then there's the Metroid section. Like, it would be the coolest fucking theme park that ever existed, and nobody would ever be able to come close to fucking with it. That's like how well done this little area was. But it only has one ride. It's got the Mario Kart ride. And the Mario Kart ride, while you're just waiting in line, the little indoor area, I guess, the way it's set up was just one of the coolest things I've ever fucking seen in my life. The ride was dope. It wasn't the coolest ride in the world, but like it's one of those things where they put you in a cart with 4 people. There's the steering wheel and the buttons on it to launch shells, and they put a visor on you with glass panels that have augmented reality shit. So it'll just project other racers and bad guys, and you have to look, and you aim with your head. So when you're shooting shells off, wherever you're looking, that's where the shells will go. And it tallies up your score. So at the end of the ride, it tells you how well you did. I feel like a micro penis saying this, but I came in last. I'm training my entire life for this, and I came in last amongst the 4 of us. Very embarrassing. I don't know. All I saw was me in last place, and I just stopped looking. I just looked at the floor, disappointed in myself.
You got all the intel you needed.
But they give you these they don't give them to you. You have to buy them, but you have to buy these bands that interact with all like the question mark blocks, and you create a profile, and there's all these little tasks to do all around the world. So there's these little mini games you can wait in line for and play with your friends, and then that checks off little tasks on the app that are linked to your fucking power band, and it keeps track of all the coins you earned, and then if you beat 3 out of the 4 mini games, you can go to Bowser Jr.'s mini game, which is kind of like, did you guys ever watch Nick Arcade when you were young?
Yes. Jeff might be too young for that.
No. I just saw an old commercial for all of that on Instagram. I was like, that's when I got into Nickelodeon around
this
those
was
days.
years before all that. But it was basically a game show where you had to compete in video games and trivia, and the winning team got to go into a video game, and you were just fucking green screened, and then stuff would be falling, and you have to like look at an off-screen monitor to see where you are in regards to the bad guys and the power-ups you're trying to grab. But all these stupid fucking kids that made it to that level, it was almost like they got head injuries right before they went out. They're like, and they all sucked, and every kid watching that from home was so pissed off, like, the fuck, I could do so much better than these assholes. Why are they on the show and not me?
Like global guts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing you do
like guts.
when you're power-up band, when you get enough of the keys so you can go to the Bowser Jr. thing, you essentially play one of those Nick Arcade games. And that was really cool. But it's going to be a long time until that thing calms down. Like they're building one in Florida, so that's going to open I think next year at the Universal in Orlando. But it was packed to the fucking gills. They have one restaurant there, the Toadstool Cafe, where you can get Mario-themed desserts and food. We went straight there when the doors opened, and they're like, okay, yeah, our earliest reservation is for noon. So we're like, okay, cool, we'll take it. I went back and checked with them later, and I was like, hey, so when should we come back before our reservation? Like 15 minutes before? And she's like, no, I'd say 5 minutes before you can get in line. We get in this line, and it is wrapping around the whole property. Somebody in our group went and asked somebody in the front how long they'd been waiting, and they're like, oh, yeah, we've been here since 11. And we're like, fuck. So it's going to be an hour wait just to get to our noon reservation. And we stuck it out, but it was, oh, shit.
What happened?
Everything just started shaking. I don't know if that was a quake or not.
Feels like it was. I'll Google it.
But yeah, it was incredibly well done and kind of heartbreaking at the same time that it can't be an entire amusement park done in that style, because I feel like Disney, maybe actually Universal did it first with the Harry Potter land, because that's really well done and very detailed. And then Disney was like, all right, fuck, we have to do the same thing with Star Wars. And then that kicked ass. And then Universal's like, oh yeah? All right. We are going to jam a toadstool up your asshole with this Nintendo World. Because it was sick. Fucking sick. But yeah, I can tell you guys don't give a flying fuck. So,
I mean, no, Nintendo World sounds awesome. Wish I got invited. I just didn't have a +1, so I can't be fifth wheeling with you in the bags.
no, I think you're a welcomed fifth wheel.
Nice. I wouldn't have went. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Too busy watching golf, losing money on it too.
Really?
Golf has butt fucked me for like 3 tournaments in a row right now. It's kind of a bummer. I'm still up on the year, but struggling immensely.
So, other than the obvious betting on who's going to win, what else is there to gamble on in golf? Are there any cool prop bets? Like, if a guy's...
Yeah, what do you bet on other than who's going to win?
Like, if someone goes to drive the ball, the first hit of a hole... Like if the club slips out of their hand, can you bet on that? Someone's club's going to fly out?
No, I mean, they're professionals. They're not going to take bets for that. They just assume that they'll be able to keep the club in their hands, considering they've been, making millions of dollars doing it for years.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You can bet on nationality props. So golf is an international sport. There's golfers in fields from all over the world. So you can bet like best European, best continental European's another one, best Australian, best Asian player, best United Kingdom player, where you're just betting Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, I guess.
Did Brexit fuck with that betting line at all? Are certain people not included now?
No, I don't think Brexit affected the golf gambling markets.
That's good.
New best American player. Then there's like 3-ball, which is they just find 3 different golfers and you pick the one who's going to have the best score out of the 3 of them. Head-to-head matchups, top 10, top 20 to make or miss the cut. There's a lot going on. It's so much better than team sports because really, I mean, you can do player props, you can do team totals, whatever, but it's essentially like, who do you think is going to win? Like, that's all it is. Whereas golf, it's hard to pick a winner, but you can still make money. So
why the fuck did I bet Happy Gilmore to win?
I think I'm betting Jappy Gilmore this weekend. He's this Japanese guy, Hideki Matsuyama, who just crushes the ball off the tee but can't putt to save his fucking life, so I call him Jappy Gilmore.
Is that his actual nickname, or are you just being racist?
No, I'm just being racist.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Can't really bring it to Outkick because it's not a good look for our brand, so I don't really have anywhere to put it.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like it'd be better over there than here.
Yeah.
Well,
you might get a raise if you throw that one out over there.
You might be in charge of the whole thing.
It'd make me editor-in-chief, imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm editor-in-chief? Actually, no, that's more of an MSPH title. All right, well, why don't we end things as we usually do by checking in with some
voicemails. Yay! We have to do that other thing, too.
You know what? Let's do it now, because you know how my memory goes. Should we give you this little thingy, Shuddy?
Shuddy.
Mad Scientist Party Hour. Breaking news with Shuddy. MSPH Wrestling 15, It Shits Different, is going to be Saturday, March 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Dom's Twitch channel, www.twitch.tv/DomV311. New signees to the MSPH Wrestling. The game has been built from the ground up and is officially moving to WWE 2K22.
What a fucking legend. It shits different. That's what it's called. Amazing.
Yeah. New signees to the MSPH Wrestling roster: Brian from Houston, Jeff from San Pedro, Marshall Festus, Agnetha the Cave Woman, who is Dom's girlfriend Tiff, and Private Shrimp, our friend Jared.
Well, everybody's going to know who these people are.
I did not have much input in anything that happened in this, so I was only aware of what I'm about to announce next when I opened the email.
A Shuddy disclaimer.
I don't like how this is lining up for me.
But the 2023 inductee to the Hall of Fame is somebody who's been with the promotion since its infancy back in the early 2000s, and has followed it through all iterations, and has not had the best showings in MSPH wrestling, but has recently beat the shit out of Jeff backstage, and that would be me, Shuddy Boy.
How do you feel about being a Hall of Famer?
I personally do not like being the one that's announcing that I'm being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was skimming over it. I'm like, what? Like, I had no idea. So I'm honored, but feel like Dom should have maybe had Kevin read the announcement and not me.
I don't know. I'm starting to think there's some fishiness afoot.
There is not.
You always win your matches. You somehow keep getting all these $1 million cases in queef or no queef. And now Dom magically puts you in the MSPH Wrestling Hall of Fame. I feel like one day there's going to be a giant expose on your criminality, Shuddy boy.
There's going to be a Netflix series on...
Yeah, and Jeff's going to give it 5 dicks.
And the first 6 matches are going to be a triple threat TLC match for the MSPH Money in the Bank of the Dragon Jeff Clark versus 2023 Hall of Fame inductee Shuddy Boy versus Kevin Macho Man Kraft. So I can only assume that Kevin has a new outfit to try and break the curse of the last game.
Well, yeah, I think because now that we're switching to a completely different video game, I wonder if my facial hair will be gone. Because my MSPH wrestling character had facial hair way longer than real Kevin did.
I have seen our characters.
Yeah.
And the face grabbing in 2022 is not as nightmare fuelish as 2019 was.
Okay.
So I believe I even have my actual face.
So Dom's not like piecemealing pre-programmed eyes and noses and mouths. It's now deep fakes.
Yeah, but they're notice. I mean, I don't know that he did that for everyone.
Oh, okay.
But then the next match is a fatal 4-way Hell in a Cell for the MSPH Women's World Championship, which is Curvy Beer Girl versus Red Rage versus Agnetha the Cave Woman versus Chelsea the Gypsy. And then we have an Elimination Chamber match, which is the winner becomes the number 1 contender for the MSPH Intercontinental Championship, which is Boognish versus Dom versus the Voice of God Mike versus Ginger and Juice versus Pudini versus Clowny Hair. And then we have a tables match for the MSPH Canadian Championship, and that is Chief Brody versus Arts, who is the champion. And if Arts retain his Canadian title, he can cash it in for the World Heavyweight title at the end of the event.
If Arts wins another Canadian match, he's going to get deported in real life and have to register as a Canadian.
And then you're fighting in a second match against Pete in a steel cage submission match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Wait, I am?
Yep.
I'm in 2 matches?
Yeah, you're the champion, the Intercontinental Champion, apparently.
No.
You don't remember this, Kevin?
I don't remember this, but I was quite fucked up at the last one.
Yeah, I was feeling
We
okay
all
in the
were.
last one.
And then there's a five-man Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere match. Winner becomes the number 1 contender for the MSPH Championship. Canadian Championship, and that's Lowman Chris versus Mr. Romance Bonesy versus Thunderwolf versus T-Bone versus Throbby Lawler. The last
Goodness
6
gracious.
matches will be announced in 2 weeks. Full event card and Zoom will be posted on Patreon.
Yeah. What's that, 2.5 weeks? Until this event?
March 25th.
March 25th. So, yeah, if you want to hang on the Zoom with us, get those Patreon subscriptions in and, select your favorite or favorites illicit substances and fucking get weird with us. Those Zoom calls are always a blast. Carl will not be around,
Guys, night out.
so I can get even weirder.
Kevin,
So there you go.
Put your penis away. Not now, Kevin.
Kevin, turn your video feed off when you're pooping. All right, where were we? Oh, yeah.
Voicemails, yay!
Wow, you actually synced it up there, Shuddy.
It's better than I do with queef or no queef.
Much better. All right, let's see. Where the fucking shit were we? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Blood. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. I did it. I unplugged the thingy and plugged it back in. Now what? I got to do it twice. Fuck this.
I can't believe you.
Party hour. This is Anti-Cannoli Mike. I was listening to an episode in December, and Big Country was going on about shitting his pants while running or in the woods or in a parking lot. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to give you a brief rundown of the
Big Country's like 9 feet tall, so he probably has like gigantic turds. I imagine him shitting his pants is a world of difference between when we shit our pants.
That's a real disaster area.
various places that are not a toilet that I have shit in my life. I have shit in a box, in a room, because the bathroom was taken. I
almost took a shit in my oatmeal bowl when we were doing queef or no queef once. But luckily, I made it to the toilet like a real human.
Shit in a mop sink in the back of a restaurant. I have shit in 1, 2, 3 trash cans that I can remember of off the top of my head.
Have you guys ever pooped in a trash can?
Yes.
Don't all jump in at once.
Yes, I did. Yes, I have. I was going to avoid talking about it.
Yeah. I've pooped outside once in my life, and that's the only non-toilet shit I've ever taken.
All right, well, I want to know what the circumstances were, but I got to know what led Shuddy Boy to take a shit in a trash can. Prank or desperation?
Desperation. Not even desperation. Just no other option. It was when you guys were all at Kutztown, when Dom and I weren't talking because I was living with his ex-girlfriend in her dorm, her all-girls dorm, so I couldn't leave the room.
Whoa, wait a second.
Oh,
You were living in the dorm room or in the dorm of a school you didn't go to?
Yep.
And you were living with Dom's ex.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
That must have been a tense time between your guys' friendship.
It was.
Dom,
Were you?
Dom had to have deleted your character off of the N64 wrestling game.
Yeah, you're no longer a Hall of Famer. I'll tell you that. He forgot about that, didn't he?
I don't think that ever will get forgotten about.
Were you bumping uglies with his ex?
Well, he
Or were
shit.
you just like crashing?
He shit in her trash can. I'm imagining he boinked her. So
Bad look, Shuddy.
So you were
Tiff's roommate.
Oh God, I forgot about that. So was that after?
Because Tiff wasn't in the room because she was with Troy at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she was always
Troy
at
Kwan
his house.
for
yes,
everybody
Troy
at home.
Kwan, by the way.
Wait, same Troy?
Yeah. Yeah. That we addressed that when Troy was on the show. That he and I are Escabros.
Wow, I don't remember this.
So
Troy
the room.
Kwan,
So
great guess.
Tiff was with Troy Kwan. So the room was empty, other than Jen and me.
And you were afraid to go outside because you didn't want to see Dom, so you took a shit in a bucket?
No, because it was an all-girls dorm. I wasn't supposed to be there. So, like, if I had to use the bathroom, like, it needed to be super incognito, like, when nobody was around.
Why didn't you go, like, get a wig and try and pull a sorority girls move and just be like, excuse me, fellow ladies, I have to go take a shit. That really hurt my throat doing that. I don't think I want to be Shuddy Girl anymore. So
Man,
did she know that you shit in a bucket?
Yes, she's the one that told me to do it. It was fucking foul. It was the one and only time I've ever shit in a trash can, and it was...
Yeah, because if you think pooping in a toilet is bad,
there's nothing holding in any of the smell particles.
Yeah, the stench factor is greatly reduced by being submerged in water. So you just taking a shit in a fucking dry trash can. I mean, did you at least pee in it first and then take a poop in your pee?
Nope. No.
Wow, you're a fucking beast, Shuddy. How did you get
In my
privacy?
defense, I was like 18 years old, so this wasn't...
Did you ask her to leave the room?
Yes, she did leave the room. She did.
And how did you let her know that you were done? Because this was pre-cell phone.
I think she just came back like 15 minutes late. I really...
You take
put
shits
a
longer
cowboy hat on the doorknob.
Well, this was not a situation because, as you said, there were no cell phones, so it's not like I was sitting on the toilet taking my time reading an article or anything. Like, this was just get the shit out of me and get it out of the room.
So
sounds like a situation.
No, there's no clits involved. Well, kind of.
This
but
is definitely
a
a situation. This is definitely a situation.
I mean, it becomes a situation though when you're bumping uglies with Dom's ex.
So, okay. She leaves the room. You take a shit in her trash can. Like, I remember the layout of Kutztown dorms very vividly. Did you at least go into the sliding door closet for a little added layer of privacy, or did you just take a shit right in the middle of the room?
No, I didn't shit in the closet where her clothes were.
No, you just shat where her 2 feet from her bed.
Yeah, in the room with an open window. Like, that seems a lot better than in a confined space where it's going to linger with all of her clothes.
Oh, God, this is so humiliating. Okay,
There's no part of the story that I'm enjoying.
I'm enjoying every syllable of it. So we've discussed this many times in the past. It is very hard to go number 2 without also going number 1 at the same time. So did you have to tuck your penis downward to also fit in the trash can for when
Yeah, there was definitely peeing involved too.
So you get done. I'm
it was in, I'm not a total animal. There was like a plastic grocery bag in the trash can.
Is this one of those like little desk trash cans that you put in?
Yep.
It wasn't like a full-size barrel one.
Correct.
Okay, so you take a shit and a piss in this thing. Did she go to the ladies' room and bring you some TP? Or did you have to walk around with a poopy ass?
No. There was TP. This was planned out. This wasn't like an emergency situation where it occurred. This was like I was waiting hours for an opportunity to be able to take a shit, and it never materialized. So there was, there was thought put into a what if situation.
Okay, so I can like put myself in Shuddy Boy's shoes. Like, you're 18, college party life. That was the era of like Road Trip and American Pie. So like the thought of a teenage boy, man, what have you, being like, oh my God, I'm about to go live in the girls' dorm. This is like I'm living a National Lampoon movie. This is going to be the greatest thing in the world. And then the cold water of life instantly thrown in your face. Oh yeah, poop falls out of my ass once or twice a day. This has just complicated things greatly. So after you get done taking a shit and a piss, you wipe your ass, and now you just have to tie it off like a doggy bag, like when you're walking a dog and they poop.
And I can tell you that this was 3 or 4 days on either side of January 28th, 2001.
What's the significance of that again?
It was just... No, it was because I was in her dorm room when the Giants played the Ravens in the Super Bowl. And we only did that for like a week and a half before.
She was tired of taking your shits out and tied off trash bags?
I really don't want to rehash this story, but no, she dropped out of college and moved into my parents' house with me. That's what happened.
Wow, so you ruined her life.
I mean, I'm sure, I don't know. I'm sure if you asked her parents, that's what they would say about that time. They did not like me, which is understandable.
Do they prefer Dom?
I don't, that never came up. Dom was a touchy subject.
You don't say.
How long did it take you and Dom to get past that situation, excuse me.
Situation.
But no, not in this case. Situation.
It took a couple.
The hot dog?
It took until no. It took until Dom was maybe a week or two into his rebound girl, and then things got amicable again.
And how long after that girl moved in with you did the relationship end?
Two months, maybe, if I had to.
I mean, in college time, that's like 2 years.
I'm trying to remember how long it was. It might have been longer than that. I don't know. That time was all a blur.
It truly was. Boy, what a fucking savage, Shuddy boy.
Wow. Great voicemail, though, huh?
Oh yeah. We still have more of Auntie Cannoli Mike's voicemail. For the record, I don't. For somebody who people probably look at as king poop, I don't know if I've ever pooped anywhere all that inappropriate other than my pants and the time that when I was in Catholic school, must have been like in 5th grade, we wanted to vandalize the bathroom for some reason. So me and my buddies were wadding up paper towels with water and turning them into giant spitballs and whipping them against the wall so they would stick. And someone ripped the soap dispenser off the wall and threw it in the toilet. And I was like, oh, I'll shit on it. So the bathroom had one stall and a couple of urinals. So I go into the stall and I'm pooping on this thing. And then the door opens up and it's the principal, who was a female nun, and the janitor. And my friends bounced, and they come in, and they see the damage, and they're talking about what they're going to do, and then they're like, shit, where's the soap dispenser? And I'm in the process of pooping on it, and I can hear the janitor and the principal on the other side, and they're like, oh, we should wait until the person who's in the stall comes out. And I was like, oh no! But I managed to wait them out. I stayed in there for so long that they left, and then I immediately bounced. And without a doubt, they very soon after found the soap dispenser with a big turd on top of it. But aside from that, all my poops have either been in a toilet or in my pants. So,
You're an inspiration, Kevin.
Shuddy boy, you're coming off like a real immature piece of shit here.
I would much rather have shit in a trash can than in my pants.
You got me there. Touche. I'm sure there's something I'm just forgetting.
I
I'm
also,
sure I pooped
as I
somewhere
said,
inappropriate.
I was 18 years old when I shit in this trash can, and you were close to 40 the last time you shit your pants. You were actually over 40 the last time you shit your pants, if we want to get real technical about it.
Yeah. Tomatoes,
But Kevin
tomatoes.
doesn't believe a shark is shitting your pants.
No. If you're holding it in and you fail and a bunch of poo falls out, that's shitting your pants. Regardless, we have to get through Auntie Cannoli Mike's voicemail.
I have shit in the woods twice,
I might have shit in the woods.
and I'll tell you how far back it goes. When I was probably 8, I had a wooden dresser in my room, and it was one of those cheap ass wooden dressers, but made to look fancy, so they carved stupid designs in it and shit. Because that's what they did back in the late 80s, early 90s. So it had a carve out on the bottom where you could stick stuff underneath it. And I was like 8 years old. The bathroom was taken. I grew up with one bathroom. So this happened from time to time. But the one time I couldn't really make it, shit in the room, stuffed it under there, wrapped it up in a little paper towel? No, it must have been like the page of a book. Stuck it under there, ignored it, forgot about it, found it like 2 weeks later. It was all dried up and gross. So,
Auntie Cannoli Mike might have lived in my house.
Did you find an old turd? Oh, the shitty drawers.
Poopy undies.
Yep.
The poopy undies stuffed into the wall in the bathroom. Right next to the fucking
How can we
toilet.
forget?
That's actually reminding me of the time when I was in the Livingston Mall and I was in either Electronics Boutique or Babbage's looking at video games. And I had to poop, and I ignored it because I was more concerned at looking at video games. And a little nug fell out into my shorts, and I didn't know what to do, so I pulled my pant legs to the side, jiggled my leg, little turd nug fell on the floor, and I kicked it under a display case. And then the next time I went to the Livingston Mall, Babbage's was closed for fumigation.
Now, was this an old school Electronics Boutique?
Yeah,
Real tiny ones?
This had to have been in like late 80s, early 90s.
So before they turned into EB Games.
Yes. Yeah.
Which then turned into GameStop.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Auntie Cannoli Mike still has more poop.
Or actually, it was EBX before it was EB Games. Wasn't it? Didn't they have...
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh,
I have no idea. All right. Yeah, you look it up. I'll play Auntie Cannoli Mike.
Just a brief, quick rundown of various times I've shit off the top of my head. Really could probably create a list twice as long. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. So, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Martin Luther King Day for Jeff. Happy Valentine's Day for Kevin and Carl. Kevin, I hope you're employed by the time you hear this. Happy tax season. Happy Easter.
Close.
And you should be caught up by then.
Yeah, Easter's the closest one. When is Easter, by the way?
It's in April.
Oh, it is? Oh, I thought it was in March. Yeah,
No, Easter was 40 days from Ash Wednesday, which was the week before last.
While you were doing
April
the MSPH
9th.
wrestling announcements, I was crushing a Reese's peanut butter egg. Not a peanut butter cup shaped like an egg. An actual Reese's peanut butter egg. And goddamn are they exquisite. I tongue darted.
So I've eaten through all of my Easter candy already. All of the Cadbury eggs that I got, my Reese's eggs, and the marshmallow eggs.
Oh my Christ, Shuddy boy.
Well, I got one pack of each. Jeez, that was almost 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago.
I'm not judging you.
Yeah, Draven does every time we're at the fucking grocery store. I'm like, we should get more Easter candy. He's like, it's not Easter yet.
But if they're selling Easter candy, it's Easter season, and you're allowed to buy and eat Easter candy.
Mm-hmm.
No, good call. Good call, Kevin.
You'd be like, you know what? Fine, fuck you. You're not even getting a basket this year.
Fine, fuck you.
I hate it when you say fuck you, Dad. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening.
What a banger of a voicemail from Auntie Cannoli Mike. I really carried us across the finish line.
It really did.
Some revelations occurred because of Auntie Cannoli Mike.
I don't think anything was revelations. There was nothing.
Shuddy boy,
that
you took a
wasn't out
shit
there.
in a trash can in the girls' dorm. That's a story for the ages.
The girls' dorm was Dom's
Kevin,
who ended up moving in with you. There's a lot that happened.
Yeah, but again, Kevin was aware of all of this at the time.
I don't remember you shitting in a trash can.
That was definitely because So this all happened during your prank call phase?
My turn. My turban is dirty.
So yes, you would have absolutely heard about this because we started hanging out again and doing the prank calls. And there's no way that we wouldn't have talked about me shitting in a trash can or peeing in a milk jug.
Well, Shuddy boy, I did a lot of drugs in college.
It was college. So, it is like you're hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, because I could barely keep track of my own shenanigans. I was only in college for 3 fucking semesters, and it feels like a 10-year period of my life. I crammed so much into a year and a half, just drinking. Like I developed a beer belly.
Yeah, and you know what? What makes it even? I think it was it was the second semester of your freshman year.
Okay, so let me think about where
it was just after winter break ended because it was in that time period when you weren't supposed to have any guests at all. When you would come back and you couldn't have any overnight guests.
Yeah. Man. Whew. We are lucky we survived that time. Holy shit.
We're lucky we survived 10 years after that as well.
Yeah, it's been a bumpy ride. That's for goddamn sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. If you need more MSPH in your life, please head on over to patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Tons of stuff going up there weekly. I feel like Shuddy and I just wrote like an entire fucking book on music in this past week that went up as Patreon posts. And boy, this for anybody on the $10 tier, the episode of Queef or No Queef that is coming out on Thursday, my abs were sore the next day for how hard I was laughing. I haven't.
There is a good stretch where nobody's saying anything because Jeff is that upset and you and I are laughing that hard for that long.
Yeah, it was. It's like
it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a therapy session. Like you'll feel so much better after you listen to it. So check it out. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Fucking hate Deal or No Deal.
You guys can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeffra Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. You can also listen to Jeff's sports betting podcast, Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark.
That's right.
Fuck yeah.
Covering golf, covering basketball. March Madness is coming. NFL Draft is next month. So got a bunch of gambling content to get out there.
Yeah.
Check it out. Outkick Bets, Jeff Clark.
Get yourself some supplementary Jeff Clark entertainment. And Shuddy.
What's that?
Did you have some sort of merch announcement? Did I read that text right?
Yeah, you did actually. If you go to imallgone.com/collections/MSPH, along with the putty, the poo neck, the p-shirt, the poozie, the Poo-Tang Clan shirt.
So much poo.
You can now get your male or female wank top because the tank tops are now available.
No shit. Show off that taco meat.
Yep.
Your very own Jeff Clark inspired V-necks.
A men's cut or a woman's cut racerback.
Oh, send me 3 of the women's cut. Yeah.
Because as usual, I asked Chris a question, and within moments, he has it up and ready for sale on the website.
Jeez.
He's a G.
I feel like that guy's very responsive.
Yeah, I text him. I'm like, can we do this? He's like, yes. I'm like, we're going to record in like 4 hours or so. Is it okay to talk about? Like, do you have enough time? I don't want you to rush. He's like, if I can get it done before my next meeting. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, it's up and live on the website. Check it and make sure it looks okay. It's like, shit. All right. So he's very responsive. He's very rad. He gets shit shipped quick and with care.
There you go, friends. And if you would like
clothing, it's on the hat.
If you would like to see video of all of this, YouTube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Every subscription, like, comment, all that stuff goes straight to the algorithm, who is the overlord that decides our fucking fate. So it's essentially in your hands, my friends. So, yeah, thanks again for listening. But until next time, something